Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dvaraka, text number 30. Atavishat svabhavanam sarvakama manutamam prasadayatra patninam sahasrani chashodasha atavishat svabhavanam sarvakama manutamam prasadayatra patninam sahasrani chashodasha vishasvabhavanam sarvakama manutamam Sadayatra Padninam Sahasrani Chashodasha Ato Vishat Svabhavanam Sarvakama Manutamam Sadayatra Padninam Sahasrani Chashodasha. Okay, Matajis. Atavishat svabhavanam sarvakama manutamam dinam Sahasrani Chashodasha. Ata, thereafter, Avishat entered Svabhavanam, personal palaces, Sarva, all, Kamam, desires, Anutamam, perfect to the fullest extent, Prasadaha, palaces, Yatra, where, Patninam, of the wise numbering, Sahasrani, thousands, Cha, over and above, Shodasha, 16. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Thereafter, the Lord entered His palaces, which were perfect to the fullest extent. His wives lived in them, and they numbered over 16,000. Purport. Lord Krishna had 16,108 wives, and for each and every one of them there was a fully equipped palace, complete with necessary compounds and gardens. Full description of these palaces is given in the 10th canto. All the palaces were made of the best marble stone. They were illuminated by jewels and decorated by curtains and carpets of velvet and silk, nicely bedecked and embroidered with gold lace. The personality of Godhead means one who is full with all power, all energy, all opulences, all beauties, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Therefore, in the palaces of the Lord, there was nothing wanting for fulfilling all desires of the Lord. The Lord is unlimited, and therefore His desires are also unlimited. And the supply is also unlimited. Everything being unlimited, it is concisely described here as Sarvakamam, or full with all desirable equipment. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Praladananda Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Adeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. I read the text again. Thereafter the Lord entered his palaces, which were perfect to the fullest extent. His wife lived in them, and they numbered over 16,000. It's. I was thinking there's many cases in Vedic literature where it's described that different personalities had a few more wives. And because it's normal, it's quite customary for kshatriyas to have more wives. Because from the men, some take sannyas and they don't get married. And there's also others who, from the kshatriyas, there's many wars and men fight and die and women don't fight and die. So there's usually more women than men. So normally, and the women have to be protected. They usually have to get married. It's quite rare that women have this tendency to take sannyas somehow. So usually men have more wives. Some of the kshatriyas, usually the kings, have more wives. And how happy are those wives? No, how does this turn out? Well, in some cases maybe it turns out all right, but in some cases there are some problems. Because these wives had different needs. And usually the rule is that if you have many wives, then you have to take care of all of them equally, which is very difficult. So there's usually some problems. Because and we're speaking about these great kings, not normal people. No. So okay, we'll if someone wants to give some cases where someone had more wives and there were problems. Uttanapada, yeah. Okay. We'll go to that. That was on my list. Okay. One more. Chitraketu. Okay. Someone else? Arjuna. Probably he didn't have so many. He had, of course, he had more wives, but I don't think he had so many problems because of that. Dasharatha. Dasharatha also. He had some problems because. Okay. I have, but that's more or less the classic example. Vasudeva had also, but the wives were quite. They didn't fight so much. Of course, all the kings had many wives. Okay, so let's take them one by one. Chitraketu, how many wives did he have? 10 million. What was the problem? The initial problem? He couldn't have any children. You can imagine you have 10 million wives and no children. And for a kshatriya to not have children for a king is quite a disaster from material perspective, because that's your main duty, to give the kingdom to someone who is responsible and then retire. And so what did Chitraketu do? I don't remember all the details, but Angira Muni came and he wanted to give him some spiritual knowledge, but Chitraketu was not in the mood for spiritual knowledge. I said, okay, what do you want? Okay, I want a child. So he made this nice yagya, somehow, some system, I don't remember exactly. And then one wife got pregnant, and she got a child, which I think he was named Harsha Shoka. A lot of happiness and some happiness and a lot of distress. So this child got born, everyone was happy, everyone in the kingdom, and the mother of the child was happy. And how did the other wives react? Yeah, they didn't like this idea because they felt neglected. Because this wife, one wife was who had this child was the favorite one. Anyway, I can just imagine how qualified he must have been to keep them happy. 10 million wives before that, but anyway, Chitraketu was quite amazing. I don't know how he did that, but anyway, he did it somehow. But at some point, this 9,999,999 wives, they felt a bit unhappy, so they killed the child. The point is, which is common in all these stories, is that there's always some wives which feel that they are ignored, they are not properly taken care of, at least from their perspective. Dasharata. What happened with Dasharat? I don't know exactly how many wives he had, at least 3. 4 he had. Because he has 4 children, but and Bharata is from Kaikeyi. That's for sure, because that's the intrigue. So there was this main queen, and there was another queen which was his favorite, and she had a son. And King Dasharat was treating everyone nicely, but somehow she got, by bad association, this Queen Kaikeyi got the idea that maybe she will be neglected at some point. Very stupid idea. Completely not, there was nothing behind it. And what did she do? She make this plot to exile Rama into the forest, and then Dasharat also died out of grief. So simple thing. Many wives, not so many. A few wives, and one of them felt neglected due to some reason. He couldn't even. This is father of Lord Ramachandra, father of God. He couldn't keep them happy. And problems, big problems. Anyway, I had also Yayati was there on the list. He had this wife, Devayani. And anyway, it's maybe it's not the same case. And she was the daughter of Shukracharya. And Devayani, she had this friend, Sarmishta, or something like a friend. They were not in very good relationships at that point. They were friends at some point, but Yayati had 2 wives, unofficial one. The Sarmishta also was married to Yayati. Big problems. But Devayani felt, okay, this is not so good. So what happened? Yeah, that's the first first thing. That's how Yayati found her. But later, when Devayani found out that he married Sarmishta, she went to Shukracharya, and Shukracharya cursed Yayati to be old. not very nice. Uttanapada, which you mentioned, he also had at least 2 wives. Maybe he had more, but at least 2 wives. And he had one wife which was senior and one who was his favorite. And the wife who was his favorite was so much a favorite that she was like thinking she's in charge. So, okay, she told Dhruva, the 5-year-old, that, okay, only the children born of my womb can stay in the lap of the king. You're low class. And then he goes to Dhruva Maharaj, goes to Dhruva. At this point, he goes to his mother, and what does his mother say? Yes, your father treats me like a maid servant. It's true. I'm low class. You're born of the wrong place. So the point is, the point of all these stories, of course there's many angles to these stories, but the point I was trying to make is that usually when Kshatriyas have many wives, some of them feel ignored and some of them feel unhappy. Like, yeah, you know. But that's not the case with Krishna. That's the point. Narada Muni, it's described, he goes to visit Krishna in Dwaraka. And he goes into one palace. Here in this text it's described that all the queens had their separate palace, very nicely equipped with everything. So it's not that he had some queen and they had a dorm for the queens, bunk beds. I said, okay, this is a queen department. They live somewhere in the courtyard in the back, you know. No, everyone had their own palace, and Krishna expanded in every one of these palaces. So Narada Muni goes to check what's Krishna doing in these palaces, and he goes to first palace, and he does some activity with with the queen in that palace. He's like, okay, good, interesting. Okay, so he goes to the next palace, and then there's another activity with the queen in that palace. And the queen is very happy. It's like, oh, he's I don't know how you call this in English. He's under control. You know, you have a man, usually a man who's controlled by his wife. You have some terms for that. Anyway, anyway, I don't know. So you have some terms for that. So they are very happy. They are thinking, okay, he's under my control. He's just here, no problem. And then he goes to the third palace, and then he sees, okay, Krishna is there with other wife, and this other wife is very happy, and he's reciprocating very nicely. So then he gets the point. He's like, okay. And it's not even the same activity. It's not that because usually yogis, they have this facility they can expand in 8, at least 8 or 9, 8 probably. And they do the same. It's identical, and they do the same thing with all the expansions. But Krishna is not like that. You know, Krishna has many expansions, and in all expansions he can do different things. Wow. Strange things. So the point is that Krishna keeps all his wives happy. He has 16,108, and Srila Prabhupada in some classes they ask him, Srila Prabhupada, he had 16,108. He said, no, that's here, you know, in the spiritual world there's millions, there's a lot more than that, and every one of them is happy. And then he says, usually a common man cannot keep one wife happy. Very difficult. So even Satyabhama is happy, although she has her own mood. There's this episode when Rukmini gets this parijata flower, and Satyabhama finds out. like, oh, trouble. And Krishna is like, and she's like to Krishna, you know, she has a flower, this flower, I also want, now. And Krishna goes, yeah, why a flower? No problem, we'll give you a whole tree, no problem. It's okay, I can do anything, you know. So the point is, Krishna keeps all his devotees happy at the same time, and he can reciprocate with all his queens at the same time. Gopakumara goes to the spiritual world, and Krishna is there, and there's all his main associates, and Gopakumara comes there, and Krishna says, oh, you also come. I don't have time now. No, that's what he says. You know, that's what we might think. You know, you go back to the spiritual world. He has so many associates. Look, there's gopis, there's cowherd boys. So he's busy. You know, how will he reciprocate with me? You know, like I will probably be a neglected blade of grass forever. You know, he'll maybe just step on it sometimes, you know, just not even notice, you know, like, you sit there. But no, you know, when Gopakumara comes, he's very emotional, he's like, wow, this you came, I was waiting for so long, you know, that you will come. Oh, please sit down, please. Oh, and Krishna faints there, and he's like, anyway, it's we're not going into details with this thing, but the point is that Krishna is very happy to see Gopakumara. He's not saying, okay, I have this associate, I don't have energy. You know, in the material world, sometimes devotees expect that the temple president will take care of all their needs, of all the needs of 200 devotees. He has to listen to me, he has to give me this, he has to give me this, he has to give me this. And the temple president or some authorities, they're like, come on guys, I'm not Krishna. Because he's not Krishna. I mean, I'm trying my best, but I'm not Krishna, I cannot do it. But Krishna can do it. Krishna can reciprocate with everyone. So that's one point. And probably Srila Prabhupada can do that also, can reciprocate with everyone in different ways. And when you see this, when you hear about this, for me this is an impetus to think, okay, I also want to be like these devotees. So how can I spend my energy to please Krishna? Because if I please Krishna, then he will reciprocate. Everything will be provided. There's this letter Srila Prabhupada wrote to His Holiness Prahladānanda Maharaj. There's some parts which I read at some point, but I will just read the whole picture, some more parts of this letter. He said, our method, he talks about something else. Our method of striking the match is Hare Krišna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This vibration is sufficient to awaken the sleeping spirit soul to the fact that Krishna is there, and if we try to remember him always and spread his message of Bhagavad Gita, then our life becomes perfect and we are perfectly executing our position as part and parcel of the Lord. So he says, if we try to remember him always, so remember him, and spread his message of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So, and then he goes to some details. So if you let all the residents of Buffalo hear the sound of Hare Krishna and read our literatures, then there will be the greatest all-around benefit. Gives more details. This past weekend in San Francisco, there was a gigantic Ratha Yatra ceremony, just on the order of the one held at Jagannath Puri, and at least 10,000 people were chanting and dancing along with us in full transcendental ecstasy. The boys and girls of America are generally good souls. That is why they have taken birth in such a nice country, and now they should make perfect all of their opulence by engaging everything in Krishna consciousness. This will be the finishing touch of all the nice qualities found in the American people. In New York, I understand that they have sold 3,000 copies of Back to Godhead in just 2 weeks, and I understand that in Buffalo, you are also selling Back to Godhead very nicely. At that point, I didn't have so much. I don't think they had Bhagavad Gitas or big books. So please continue in this way, and your success in life is assured. As Krishna sees that you are working very seriously to bring his other children back to the spiritual kingdom, then he will become very pleased and will bestow all blessings upon you. Krishna is never ungrateful for our efforts to serve him, rest assured. So that's Srila Prabhupada's letter to Maharaj. So he's just saying, okay, you just think of Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, and distribute Krishna consciousness to others, and your success in life is assured. And then this last phrase, he says, and don't worry, Krishna will reciprocate. Don't worry. Your Krishna is never ungrateful. It's not that Krishna is too busy and he doesn't see your efforts. Like, okay. Like Uddhava Mitra sometimes jokes that Krishna is busy in Goloka Vrindavan with Shrimati Radharani and the gopis, so he doesn't see what is happening in Ljubljana. But that's not the case. That's not the case. He sees, he's fully engaged in that pastimes, and at the same time, he's fully aware. Oh, this devotee went out for Sankirtan. He's more aware than we are, probably. Oh, this devotee distributed one book. Check. Jai. So, so that's what Srila Prabhupada Marathon is about. That we just try to give Krishna consciousness to others. And of course, Srila Prabhupada told us in many places that the best thing we can do is to give his books. Because, I mean, what will our 3 minutes preaching do? But if they get a book, they get in contact with a pure devotee, pure representative of Krishna, then their life can be changed. So that's what we're doing. And yeah, just some hints on that's the task. And what do we do? Of course, many times people tell me, so what do you say? What do you say? What do you say? You know, what do you tell people? And then Mahotsa Prabhu says, it's not what you say, it's what you pray. It's one way, one funky way to say that it's not so much about what you say in Sankirtan. It's just because it's a spiritual activity. If you think you can mechanically do Sankirtan, it's not gonna work. Every time you try to be, you find a new mantra, and then you're like, now I have this mantra, and they will surrender. They will just look at you and like, what's this guy saying? I can see in my case, I find this, I say something and then I see how people respond. I'm like, yeah, all right. And then I say, okay, now I found the formula, and I will just repeat the formula, and everyone will surrender. Everyone will take books. No. The next 10 people, they will just look at me and like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, okay. Actually, it's about something else. This is a spiritual activity. We're trying to be instruments for Srila Prabhupada, and we're trying to represent him, and we're just trying to pray to Paramatma, to Krishna, that, hey, please, can you make this person take a book? So this is very important when you go for Sankirtan, that you're in this prayerful mood, because nothing will happen without being empowered by Srila Prabhupada or by our Guru Parampara. You cannot distribute books on a material platform. You can do it for some time, but it's not gonna be. So the most important thing in Sankirtan is that you are in this mood of being a servant, being an instrument for Srila Prabhupada. I'm doing this to please Srila Prabhupada. I'm not doing this because I'll have a big score and I will be a Maharati and I will be Jai! Premavan Haridas ki Jai! He's third! Yeah, he's amazing! He's gonna be better next week! No, that might happen. But Shipanchatattva ki Jai, Shigornitai ki Jai. That might happen, but that shouldn't be our mood. Our mood should be, okay, I want to please Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. And of course, you know, Srila Prabhupada is, Tamal Krishna Maharaj was reading him the book distribution scores. And they got this report, and Prabhupada said, read it. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, so I should read, the summary or something. No, everyone. I want to hear everyone, you know. So, and they were in Los Angeles. This devotee distributed 100 books. Okay, this other devotee distributed 90 books. And Prabhupada was in ecstasy, you know. He would hear this report for hours, you know, like about this devotee distributed this amount of books, and this devotee distributed this amount of books. And how many books in South America? Oh, okay. This amount. And how many in that place? Wow, this amount. So Srila Prabhupada was really inspired by numbers. It's not that we're detached, like, okay. So Srila Prabhupada liked numbers. He was very happy to hear big numbers, because he saw that, okay, so many souls got an opportunity to be in contact with Krishna. So numbers are good. And we do want numbers for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. They do like numbers. They do want. But of course, we have to do it in the proper way. In the mood that, okay, I'm trying to please Prabhupada, I'm trying to give this present to Srila Prabhupada. Like you go to Vyasa Puja, you want to give him a nice present, no? For the spiritual master. You don't say, yeah, this cake is uncooked, but anyway, it was with love. Just... Yeah, probably, especially if it's a Chandramauli Maharaj, probably you'll get it in your face. Like, catch your love cake. No, our love is also there in how much we try to give our best, that we do something which is pleasing for Srila Prabhupada. But the point is, we should be more or less process-oriented, not so much goal-oriented. Because what actually brings good results in Sankirtan is that you go to each person and you do the right thing. And then you're completely focused, and then you go to the next person and say, hey, hi, how are you? Oh, you look like such a nice person. What's your secret? Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. It's probably natural. Oh, okay. Yes, it's natural. So, I mean, that's how you get big results. And then you say hi to people, and then you say something nice about them. Everyone likes to hear something nice to them. This was the first thing I learned, the only thing I learned in Slovenian. When we were first time in Maribor for marathon. Harinam Ruchi Prabhu was trying to teach me the mantra. He said, wow, Ares. So this is the mantra. I don't know if I probably still didn't get it right until now. But the point is, whatever people tell you, you're like, wow, really? You're a butcher. Wow, are you a good one? Yeah, today we're sharing these books for all the nice butchers in this society. So, so this is for you. Whatever they say, it's all right. Like, don't argue with people. Unless you're really in the mood of arguing. But generally, just whatever they say, use it as an opportunity to flatter them. Be a bit, have some common sense, but generally you can do it. And what people really want to see is enthusiasm. They want to see that you're not there because they told you that they don't get prasadam if you don't go for Sankirtan. So you're with this face, like, hello, how are you today? Are you from here or from other place? Oh, Celia, I heard very nice things about Celia. Very nice people. These nice books for nice people. Oh, okay. So if you do like this, you'll probably not distribute many books, because what people actually buy. We're not selling, but what they actually impresses people is enthusiasm. I was I realized that this Interliber marathon, especially with younger people, they are very much on this enthusiastic platform. And I realized I had the same mantra for 6 days. I didn't say anything different, And everything that I was doing, like whatever people I met and whatever groups I had, I was just trying to be enthusiastic. Or, hey, how are you today? Wow, you look very positive. What's your secret? Oh, yeah, And they were like, wow, okay, he's happy. That's what sells. That's what people are looking for. They want to see that you are a happy person, and these books is because is the reason why you are becoming happy. And if he takes the book, he will also become happy like you. And you are actually happy. You are very actually enthusiastic. You are actually convinced. You're like, wow, this is very nice. Wow. So that's it. And that's what I was doing in the Liber. And then I tried here in Slovenia. I said, no, this is Croatia stuff. No, it works. It's the same, Just like, hey, wow, yeah, So the point is, try to be enthusiastic. Don't be like over enthusiastic, but try to that people see that you're happy to be there. You want to be there. You're okay. This Krishna consciousness is so nice, and we want you to join this very nice movement. And they will be like, okay, how much? And that's it, And then, be patient. This utsaha, patient. Okay, first 2 people didn't get a book. Okay, no problem. Just continue. Hello, 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 hello. Until continue and pray, just do the right thing. And eventually some people will take the books, And eventually, of course, it's not about the results. One of the things which was always useful for me is, at least in the beginning, I used to make a commitment in terms of time. I would say, look, Krishna, by the way, this is my commitment. I will come for Sankirtan. I will be 2 hours. Today I can give you 2 hours. 2 hours, I'm here. I will try to stop every person that passes by. I will be full on, and the result is up to you. I will try to say hi. I will try to do whatever tricks I learned. Wow, flat, and the result is up to you. And this is very, very nice, and it helps also because the mind will always say, no, what are you doing here? And you say, yeah, very nice. 2 hours Sankirtan after, no problem. Whatever we discuss, you know. So this was very, it's a good trick, you know. You make a commitment. Okay, I will be 2 hours here, and then after, whatever. You know, because this is called process-oriented in karma world. In our world, it's called karma yoga. That you do your duty, you try your best, and then the results will be whatever the results will be. Usually there will be. And yeah, just try to go with some devotees who are inspired, if possible. That you see they are enthusiastic. Maybe he's enthusiastic. If you go with enthusiastic devotees for Sankirtan, you look at them, you're like, this guy is enthusiastic, this guy is enthusiastic, this guy is enthusiastic. Maybe I can also try it, give it a try. That's why it's very important to post pictures on WhatsApp, you know. You're like, hey, I'm out, I'm distributing books, it's nice. People, the other devotees will be like, oh, he's having fun. Okay. Very nice. Okay, we'll stop here. There's some comments, questions. Vrishabha Prabhu has this service of asking questions.
As a representative of the committee, Hare Krišna, I really like how when we are reading these verses of Krishna's opulence, and the more we are reading and absorbing it and understanding that Krishna is the source of opulence, it would be easier for us to surrender to him, not to doubt him, that, you know, Krishna, about how we're gonna secure this and that, how we're gonna get me this and that, you know, if I don't do my thing, you know. So it's really nice to read these verses. And regarding the Sankirtan you were mentioning, Actually, I wanted to ask you, I was contemplating about, in the spiritual world, you are doing your seva for Krishna, and everyone is there, is absorbing, serving Krishna. And only in the material world, there are souls who are envious of Krishna, actually. So there is no Sankirtan movement, there is no preaching in the spiritual world. To who you have to preach, or to who can you even preach? So it seems like, I mean, is there any service in the spiritual world where you are coming to the other soul and trying to convince them to surrender to Krishna? I mean, is gopis are the gopis doing that or something? I don't know. I mean, but can you maybe elaborate on this?
I don't know. I can always only speculate. On the first point you made, the point is that Krishna will give us everything we need, but not everything we want. That should be very clear, you know. It's not that because of we are devotees, Krishna will give us everything we want. Because he might say that, you know, you actually don't need this, and this will just create some problems for you. So, like with the Pandavas, Krishna gives them, protects them, and at the same time they get into a lot of trouble. So don't, especially in the material world, don't expect that because you're protected by Krishna, your life will be easy. No, might be, might not be, you know. So Krishna will give you what you need, not what you want. So we have to also be aware of that. Don't think that, okay, now I surrender to Krishna and you know, we'll have a driver will be in the front of the temple every time I want to go out, and so on. Maybe, maybe not. So this is one point. This is the first thing you said. The second thing, yeah, I mean, in the spiritual world, as far as I understand, there's no one who is a demon, you know, a real demon. There's rumors about demons, but there's no real demons. So there's no one to convince that, hey, don't be a rascal, just surrender to Krishna. Because everyone is a devotee, you know, there. But of course, they always talk about Krishna. That's for sure. It's not that whoever in the material world, whoever you meet, you have to tell them something about Krishna, and when you go into the spiritual world, you have to talk about something else. No, this instruction of Lord Chaitanya is applicable also in the spiritual world. Whoever you meet, tell them something about Krishna. And it's not that because that they don't know. Oh, you heard about Krishna before? So because it's very pleasurable, and everyone wants to hear about Krishna, and that's the service. So the service of telling people about Krishna is there in the spiritual world also, but as far as I understand, not in this way that there's demons and you have to, or the people who are non-devotees, and you have to convince them. You know, so in this way, it is said sometimes that this service of doing preaching is only here in the material world. But yeah, also in the spiritual world, you can continue talking about Krishna. It's allowed. Yeah, some more esoteric things. I don't know. I don't know some examples where they. Yeah, I don't want to speculate.
I guess the gopis were preaching to the wives of brahmanas, and then they fall in love with Krishna. But I don't know if that's like lila or. I mean, I think that they got hooked up to Krishna because they were listening to gopis when they were flowers.
Yeah, but that's I'm not sure if that's the same lila in the spiritual world. You know, I don't know, because the brahmanas who are in Maya are mostly here. You know, like in the spiritual world, the brahmanas who are in Maya, they are not. I don't know. That would be just speculating, but. The main point is that if we surrender to Krishna, it's not that he will neglect us and then he will not take care of us. And as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, don't act in a way that you want to see God, act in such a way that he wants to see you. So yeah, this is Srila Prabhupada Maharaj.
When we are preaching, we are actually making the biggest service to Krishna.
Yeah, well, that's what Krishna says. But yeah, we should feel that we are not doing anything. But yeah, the Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj says, act in such a way that God wants to see you. So we can try to, according to our very limited capacity, to do something to please Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. Okay, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.